A little bit of Jill Scott here. He loves me. Hello. Hello, Miss Onoloko. Oh, hello, everybody else. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So far, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 my dears. And we are going to be starting in just like 2 minutes. We're going to give some more people time to come on board. I'm going to make sure I'm changing my playlist on here as well, because I don't own any rights to any music or anything like that. So, and I don't want to get distracted by going, oh, this is my song. So we are going to just start. So give us just a couple minutes. We're just waiting for a few more people to join us, so that everybody gets the benefit of all of the cool stuff right at the beginning. Alrighty. So if you are like heavily waiting or in anticipation for this, I don't have the. Hopefully, I can get some comments up here now. There we go. There we go. Oops. Sorry, you get to see my bit there. There we go. I'm getting more of the comments now. Hi. This is happening all the time. I start a live and the comments don't come up until I literally have to cancel the video in just a moment. So anyway, right. I took my glasses off and I'm like, I can't see the time. So we're going to wait 1 more minute. Hi everybody. Oh, love you too. Love you big too. We're just waiting another minute or so. But tonight's discussion is, of course, how to make love to a man's heart. Now, for those of you who are looking for all the physical juiciness, and if you think I'm doing that kind of guided bits, it's not. This is for, of course, ladies and, of course, gentlemen as well, who, it doesn't matter really, but, if you got a man in your life and you're finding that you're not connecting or something's just not clicking, it could be because you're not making love to his heart properly, right? So in this session today, I'm just going to give you my perspective on how to make love to a man's heart, to gain the deepest connection and the best result possible within your relationships going forward. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think there is a massive lack of intimacy, compassion, and understanding between people, between couples nowadays. And it is so disheartening. So let's bring that back. Alrighty, so I believe we are at 6:30, so we are going to start now. So this is again going to be more so addressed to the ladies. And ladies, if you've got a perspective that you want to come up in on here with, then please put it in there. I'm going to try my best to get through all the comments as well, right? Hi Joyce, hi everybody. So and again, I'd like to remind you, if you find this as you're watching, if you're like, holy shit, this is some good stuff, please share it. Share it so other people can understand and go forward as well. So, okay. There are definitely a few steps that we as ladies need to take. And I'm going to say ladies, but again, if you are in a same-sex relationship, then I'm not trying to say you are a lady in any way. I'm just trying to say, unless you want to be, but, anyway, this is just for the guys. So, what often happens, when we are in a relationship as a lady? Or how we look and view men when we are going to get into a relationship, right, can be a little bit skewed. Now, the reason why I say it is a little bit skewed is simply because we have to accept that there is a level of social manipulation that has gone on in the minds of our men and in our minds too. A lot of the times, the focus in a relationship is heavily on the lady, right? In terms of, we are expecting our men to be that knight in shining armor that we have been conditioned to accept, right? We have been conditioned to believe a good man is one that is highly successful, you know, with a 6-figure income or higher or something like that. He drives a nice car. He has a nice house. He wears nice clothing. You know, he's got a great figure and physique. He takes care of his body. And, you know, he takes me on all these different places and everything. And sometimes we have some great dinners and great, or he's a bull in the bedroom or something like that. You know, the kind of guy that's going to save us from all of our woes and all of our problems. We have literally been conditioned to think this way. And ladies, let's think of every Disney movie, Disney princess movie, every story that was catered to little girls and little children has always been, you are a damsel in distress waiting to be saved by this man. And if he doesn't follow this specific criteria, he ain't shit, right? So firstly, we have to appreciate and acknowledge that, and then we've got to get rid of it. Because we need to understand that our men are just the same as we are, all right? They suffer crazy insecurities. They suffer crazy programming and manipulation that comes from society. Hi, Virgin sweetie. Hi, Dean. Don't worry, sweetheart. You know, guys suffer. Hi, Susan, sweetie. Guys suffer through so much bullshit, just the same as women do, but just in a different way, right? Ruby, nah, not necessarily. Just has slowed down and love me for being me. Yes. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. A lot of men, when we say, oh, Jessica, that's why I like Brave. I know, right? Go on, Meredith. But this is why we say that, you know, a man has been, again, so many of them have no clue how to love you just for being you. Because they have been programmed to look beyond who you are and been programmed to look at just what your body looks like, right? So again, but that's of course a wonderful statement. Don't get me wrong, Onaloka. But again, we have to get into the minds of these men, though. We have to get into the minds of the other 50% of the population, right? And it's just understanding that, hey, when they have been told and repetitively every single day, just the same way that women are repetitively shown in media that you are not attractive. Go get that bra. Go buy that bra that's going to make your boobs go up. Go get the Spanx. You know, you're not good enough. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're not pretty enough. Get this makeup. Do this. Women are hit and bombarded with this all the time. So, of course, so many women, starting from severely young girls, are so insecure and body conscious, right? But you got to think, men, from the time that they start puberty and even before now, they are exposed to so much porn, so much desensitization of their minds. So when they get older, you know, and not only porn, but every single thing that is focused at a guy, is like, a guy can't even go get a burger without having the advertisement, you know, like that Charles Cheesy burger or something like that, where you've got the lady like literally like in a bikini. Like, this is literally there to stimulate them mentally, just the same way porn does, right? And they get hit with it every single day, all day long. Everything they look at is designed to desensitize them. And the thing is as women, if we don't understand that, then when they start acting a little bit like, oh my gosh, you're just 2 legs and a vagina, we're surprised. We seem to be surprised that so many men act like complete and utter assholes. And the point of the matter is, and I'm not trying to say that they don't have their own individual responsibility to check their behavior. I'm not saying that whatsoever. We're all adults at the end of the day, and we are all responsible for our own behavior. But it is the understanding, right? Okay. So firstly, I just wanted, that's one thing. That's the first thing. We got to get that one kind of understood. The second thing we need to understand, and as well, during this conversation, what I'm going to be saying is, the things I'm going to be saying I'm going to try to guide you through how to flow with your energy, right? How to counter the male energy with your female energy. Now, I want to put it out there, though, that I in no way, shape, or form condone or say you should do this with your partner or to your boyfriend, your husband, or whatever, if they are physically aggressive with you, you know. So if you have a partner out there who is literally physically assaulting you, okay, then I don't want you to be like, oh, I need to love his heart. I need you to be like, oh, I need to get the hell out of Dodge because this is a violent relationship. So that's kind of disclaimer number one. Two, if you are an individual, right, who is consistently being verbally abused, you know, and I mean like, you know, verbally abused. Again, I am not condoning or saying that this is what you need to do in order to stop this individual, because some individuals you need to leave, okay, for the betterment of yourself. All right, that's really important. So when I'm saying how to make love to your man's heart, it is for those men, and I know there's going to be plenty of them watching, who are genuine in their love, who are genuinely lovely human beings, who just need a little compassion, right? So for the guys out there who are actually you're just regular guys, just, you know, looking for a little guidance, you're totally cool. You don't fall into that category. But again, ladies, if you know your other half is physically or verbally or mentally abusive and it is a repetitive cycle, I do not condone this. I'm saying, please get yourself to safety, okay? Because at the end of the day, when you make love to his heart, he needs to make love to yours too. Right? And an individual that is so caught in a negative cycle or a negative loop, or who is an entity or a program that is meant to do this to you, they're just going to take from you, and you're not going to get anything back. So okay, so just definitely make sure. I just got a comment here. So Amishtal, Jessica, you say, speaking on insecurities, only reason why I haven't gone live yet is my top teeth got busted out, and having falsies made not so much a confidence thing for me as it is an enduring judgment and assumption thing. Think guys go through that with so much, with how they're expected to be. And that women always judge appearance and status to truly know a heart, though. Amishtal, Jessica, I don't want you to ever believe that your outwardly appearance has anything to do with that beautiful wealth of knowledge that you hold within your heart and in that beautiful brain that you have. And I love you so much, and I am furious at what was done to you. Furious at what was done to you. And I am so proud of you for having not only the courage, but the determination, and you stood strong, and you got yourself out of that situation. You are out of that situation. Now let that love in your heart shine, my sweetheart. Because at the end of the day, you are so beautiful. But you are so beautiful right here. And that speaks so much more volumes than whatever is on the outside, sweetheart. But of course, I'm not going to say you have to do what you know you don't want to do or anything at your own time and in your own comfort. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, I'm like, you're gorgeous. Your words speak so much more than your physical appearance ever could. That is my opinion anyway. My opinion. Okay. So, getting back onto my train of thought there. So yes, I just wasn't condoning any violence, and then of course Amishtal. Right? So yes, get out of there. Okay. Alrighty. So now that I've said my disclaimer, though, let's proceed on. The next thing that you are going to need to understand about making love to a man's heart is that men are really grounded in the physical. All right? How many of you ladies, you can put your hand up, how many of you have asked me, how do I get my husband or my partner to raise frequency with me? He doesn't believe in any of this energy stuff. He doesn't believe in the frequency and so forth. And that is because, again, many, many men are grounded in the physical reality. All right? The physical reality. Women, we are basically closer to the veil, so we are higher up. All right? Men are centered here. So, for example, and women, women's intuition, of course. How we have this thing, like there's so many people, there's so many more witches than there are wizards, for example. And that is because, again, we are closer to the veil. So we are always really high up, speaking to spirits, doing this, and, our abilities are very, very good in the mental. However, men, if we've always noticed this, a lot of men are really in the physical, even in their abilities. There's a lot more men who can master telekinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, aerokinesis, agrokinesis, all the kinesi, who can conjure and manipulate. And it comes to them really easily, especially if they are, on this journey of awakening too, right? These things come to them very, very easily. And it is because that is their half. That is the male energy, right? In this universe, in this game of life, in this reality, men perform very well in the physical, while again, women perform very well in the ethereal. Hi, Nancy. Hey, sweetie. So, again, let us understand that. And that proceeds on to so many different angles, right? Men like the physical. That is why they are targeted with a lot of heavy sexual things, because it's a physical action. And that's why women are targeted with, mental mind games, right? Insecurities that are up here. So anyway, now, to adequately make love to your husband or your partner or your boyfriend's heart, you need to combine both the mental, all right, the ethereal, with the physical at the same time. So what do I mean by this? Well, one of the things a lot of men need is they need physical guidance. How many of you have ever had, let's say the house is a mess, and you're like, oh, okay, we got to clean up. And you're sitting there cleaning, and your partner comes in and says, okay, what do you want me to do? And you're literally looking around like, choose something, anything, right? And they're completely just like, I don't know what it is you want me to do, right? You have to be very physical. You have to say, babes, I need you to do this specifically. Great, because then he's going to be like, got it. And he's going to go do it, right? But he needs a lot of physical guidance in that sense. And again, this is in no disrespect to the men. I'm not saying that every single man cannot recognize what needs to be cleaned and what doesn't need to be cleaned. But it is something that does happen very commonly. And by no way is that, directed specifically at any specific man. That's why they love blowjob. Oh, and they can't watch. Okay, sorry. I wasn't even expecting that, Nancy. Wasn't even expecting that. Hi, Mario. Welcome back, sweetheart. So, when we combine the physical, I'm like, oh, Nancy, goodness. When we combine the physical and the ethereal, we will have the best benefit. So, one thing, so let's look at this in steps here, ladies. Okay, let's look at this in steps. First thing a lot of guys need is they need a connection to their heart, right? They need compassion, all right? They need to start to feel. Again, with so much desensitizing that has gone through with them since a young age, and not only that, the emotional suppression of, guys, they're not allowed to cry, men, they are the providers of the family, and so they have to be strong, men, you've got to be like totally ripped and everything because, you got to go out there and protect your girl. And you're just like, from what? It's not the Dark Ages. I'm not being kidnapped from my house, looted by the bandits or anything like that. But anyway, but they're still programmed to believe these things, right? Which is quite nonsensical in today's reality, right? So they need to reconnect with their feelings, all right? You got to help them on this one. Now, however, just sitting there going, babe, talk about your feelings. It's like him sitting you down and going, babe, your body looks fine, just let it go. But you know how you find it so difficult to do that? Because every time you look past a mirror, you're like, oh, and all those kinds of things. It's exactly the same way. If you sit them down and just be like, hey, talk about your feelings. So many guys will be like, they'll get frustrated because it's difficult. Because again, of years and years and years of suppression. All right? Years of suppression and years of manipulation. So, in order to reconnect them with their feelings, you have to, or the best practice to do so is to speak to them, but also combine the physical with it. Right? So, I'll give you an example. As Kulipup and I were developing on and going through our inner work and doing everything like that, I had to do the same thing with Kulipup, right? Because the social manipulation and everything, we both had a lot of programming. But anyway, as we are more awake, so we were reducing all of this. But it dawned on me, because again, I'm so close to the ethereal, and everything comes so easily to me when it comes to just, thinking and emotions and everything like that. I was just like, I used to think that all I had to do was sit him down and talk. But no. He needs the physical compassion shown at the same time. So I would sit Kulipup down and I'd just be like, okay, babes, let's talk. Okay? Let's talk. But I'd want to sit next to him. Because as he's speaking, and as I'm listening to him, I'm going to touch him at the same time. All right? I'm going to touch him at the same time. Those, when you're a kid, right? And let's say one of your friends at school, when you're a little kid, one of your friends at school says something mean, and you're crying and you're emotional. You're like, mommy. And you go to your mom or you go to an adult female figure. Now, imagine that adult female figure just going, oh, are you okay? Versus, come here, babes. And holding and feeling that embrace of that female energy in that time when they are in need. So think of yourself as a child being held by that female energy when you're upset. So not only are you allowed to process, but you are feeling the physical feeling of that love at the same time. Men are very, very much the same. So whenever I'm speaking with Kulipup, and whenever we are going through inner work, I like to make sure that I'm close to him. That I'm close to him. So that I can hold his hand. That I can rest my hand on his thighs. That if he needs me, I'm there to just hold him. Maybe he just needs a hug, right? Just a hug, just to be like, it's cool. It's cool. And also, Zane? Hi. Wouldn't a woman want the same? Yes, definitely, Zane. And that is why I definitely recommend for any guys watching here, I did a video on how to make love to a woman's heart. You're going to enjoy that one. We talk all about this stuff. But anywho, so we want to be there. Now, the thing is, this is on a regular basis, though. I'm talking about a situation with inner work now, and that makes a lot of sense. Because of course, when somebody's going through a hard time, you want to be there. But I mean on just a regular basis. Sorry, that's Jessica. You replying to Onaloka. Okay, I will read that later, and I'm just going to continue on. So, for example, to show my love for Kulipup, I'm always touching him. When he comes into a room, right? well, not only does he feel my desires, not only does he do that because he walks in and he looks fabulous, but I will take his face in my hand and I will kiss him. Just for that. As he walks away, I'll smack him on the backside. You know, give a little love tap there. You know, I will literally, if he's just there, I will come over and I will literally just pull him close to me, just so he can gain that intimacy. And I can make love to his heart without having to physically, you know, stimulate him in any way. Right? Let's have a look here. Zane, you say, I find as a male, I want to hear the truth, but not at me, but to me. So you want to hear the truth, but you don't want me to tell you your truth, but you like to hear the truth. I'll take it as that, unless you want to clarify that, sweetie. But that's good. You know, and even knowing that, right, Zane? Like, I think you're absolutely right, you know. Wanting the truth, but in a different way. Saying, I feel young women don't always get the experiences to learn how to speak their truth. That's right. That's absolutely right. Because, Zane, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, my sweetheart. If I'm not, please just let me know how it is you want me to pronounce your name. But you're absolutely right. A lot of young women don't have a lot of experience because they are told that all you are good for is to be literally, your value is in the way you look. Not in the way you speak, not for who you are in the mind, you know. Young women today are taught that you need to have the plumpest lips, the cat-like eyes, the breasts that come up to here, a waist that's this small. And if you can achieve this, and hair that's long and flowy, right? So if they don't have this, then you're not going to be happy. You're not going to find a guy to love you, right? So that's why we find that so many men, again, it is the cycle. There's men that do not respect the minds of their women because, again, they've been conditioned to believe that, hey, unless my woman is gorgeous with all of this on her face and crap, you know, she's got to be a perfect 10 in terms of appearance, and it's rubbish. Oh, thank you, Zane. Thank you. All right. But anywho. So, again, combining the physical with the emotional. Now, also another way or another step to making love to the heart of your man is to literally show compassion. And don't get me wrong, I know it can be hard sometimes because men lack a lot of compassion, and you as a lady need compassion in order to unlock your compassion. It's kind of like a man's compassion in the moment. The short term in the moment unlocks your long-term compassion. But we kind of got to get a little bit of that out of there first. And it's not compassion in the same way, or I guess it is nurturing compassion that is more so required, right? Michelle, what can you do for men who seem to be obsessed with sex and always putting so much emphasis on the physical act of sex to the point that they are seeking an outside relationship? I had this in a relationship. We are still friends, but I see him still doing this after 20 years. Yes, Michelle, this is exactly it, right? This is what I'm telling you how to do right now. Men who are obsessed with sex and the act of sex, and just literally the physical act of sex, it is because they are very disconnected from their emotions. They're disconnected from their heart and the sensation that true connection and focus bring you, right? So if you are finding it difficult, don't get me wrong, some guys are so closed off from childhood traumas. They have literally been taught that, you know, that alpha male kind of thing, you know, like as many conquests as I can get through, you know, or they may have opened their heart up to a young girl when they were 13 and she broke their heart. So he like literally carried that with him for the entirety of his adult life. And again, because and I know you guys may think like, oh, that sounds ridiculous and so forth, but no, it's something that does happen and we shouldn't even judge about it at the end of the day. Because if you are, let's say you're a 13-year-old boy and you're in grade 8 and you find the love of your life, right? Yes, you're both just children. However, if you are a child and you've not learned how to process emotion, or you've been actively taught to suppress emotion, finally feeling that compassion and that love, even if it's just from a small, like just from a child's perspective, that would have filled your heart with so much, for it to just be shattered. And then you're not processing that information as a young man, that emotion, that'll carry it with you for a long time. Like, that will literally cause some men to be just so closed because they never want to feel that emotion again. So this is what they do. Then they go on to, well, they're still searching for the emotion, Michelle. They're still searching for it. And they think that they're going to find it in the right one. So they have continual partners over and over and over again. They get into continual relationships over and over and over again. And the same thing always happens. But again, they don't realize that it is not, happiness is not found in between the magical legs of a vagina, you know, like in a vagina. Happiness is found when they can clear out this emotion that they have within them and understand it. But again, it is the disconnection, right? Sorry, I've got some comments here, so we'll go through this. Mario, I'm so sorry for this, but you are super duper gorgeous and it's really hard to listen. Oh, Mario, you're so sweet. If anything, you could always just put the phone down and just listen. That'll always work. But thank you for the compliment. That's very sweet. Thank you. Jessica, you say, think that's a status thing to guys, but it's selfish love, not real love. Hardest thing I've had to realize is the difference between real and, well, more narcissistic. Yeah, that's it. But again, if you are showing compassion, if you are showing not only physical nurturing compassion and, you know, compassion of the heart at the same time, and this individual isn't responding to that, then you know they're not worth your time or your focus. And you know you need to move on at that point. Because at the end of the day, when you have an individual that listens to you, that feels you, that makes you feel so good inside, and if they cannot recognize that, then shit, you need to go on, because there's a load of other guys that would appreciate the hell out of you for doing that, right? If somebody doesn't appreciate that, you know, move on, because I definitely know that there's a beautiful man out there somewhere who would want nothing more than a woman with a heart to come in and help him. So, you know what, move on and move up. Yes. David, yes, excellent. Jessica, for me, like, I literally value a man who loves himself enough to show others how to love better by example. Exactly. But is that, Jessica, like, Amish, is that not the case with just humans in general, though, as well? Right? When we see a man who is so confident in himself that, you know what, something can happen, he can cry, but he comes out stronger before it, and he's just like, you know what, process the emotion, I got this. You know, isn't it just the most beautiful thing when you see a man who is approached with such force and, you know, bravado, and stands firm and tall and says, you know what, you're my brother. Well, I'm not going to fight you, because that's nonsensical. You know, it is so beautiful. But also, isn't it beautiful when you see a woman do the same thing? Stand so firm in her own self, in her own truth, and in her own intuition, in her own self, right? And who leads by example. Again, beautiful woman. So it's beautiful people when they know how to love themselves. Okay. Zane, that's how we think from programming, right? Michelle, yes, connected from the heart, definitely. That is is it. Suppression, yes, that is true. Right, though. Right, though, Michelle? Zane, we pick flowers that we didn't have to raise and watch grow. That's true. But that's so true in almost so many things, though, at the same time, Zane. Or Kay, will those men ever heal, or will they just continue the pattern? It's up to them. Or Kay, it really, really is up to them as to what it is they want in life, right? This is the time. This is the time that we are hopefully able to get these kinds of lives out there, get these kinds of messages out there, to get a lot of guys thinking that maybe I want more. Maybe I want more out of a relationship than just a beautiful woman at home who cooks and cleans and takes care of the kids and rocks it in the bedroom and everything like that. Maybe they want a little bit more than just a woman that they can buy jewelry for, right? So we'll see. We'll see. But this is the goal. So this is why I'm like, hey, share this. Share it out there if you feel other people need it. David, no, we can heal, and I believe it. Zane, it's different when you take the time to watch a plant grow and love it for all its experiences and not just what it looks like. Exactly, Zane. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. It is very true. And you do appreciate it more. And you appreciate what you had to do in order to get there. This is building a solid relationship on love and connection of your heart, right? And nurturing. Okay, wonderful. So let's carry on then, all right? So how do we show our men compassion? Well, first, just as we spoke in How to Make Love to a Woman's Heart, to show an individual compassion, it's awareness. Awareness and kindness. That's what it is, right? Compassion doesn't always mean compliance. Not at all. But again, it is awareness and kindness. So, I'm trying to find a good example for you. But how many ladies have been through a relationship, and I'm not saying a abusive one or anything like that, but been in a relationship where your partner will return, or every time they're with you, they're a little bit sharp, or they're a little bit, they're always down, or they don't want to do anything, or they, like, oh, you never take me out anymore, that kind of thing, like you're just always there. Or he comes in and he's just like, takes the shoes off, goes and watches TV, and then there's nothing else that's there, right? How many ladies have gone through this? And I know there's going to be a lot of ladies that have went through it. And the thing is, in this moment, a lot of ladies would be like, well, I go to work, I clean up, I take care of the children, I do this, I do that. You're just lazy, you don't do this, you don't do that, you could be doing more. And how many of us are guilty of saying that every now and then? We let our frustrations get to us, right? Now, to show compassion, again, awareness with kindness, you would need to then look at, well, why? He is a man that you fell in love with at one point, right? At one point, he would have been fulfilling you in one way or another, however your fulfillment required. Whether that was taking you out, whether that was, I don't know, just having, intimate nights in with a cup of cocoa and a movie or something like that, and a blanket. Maybe he told wonderful jokes or made you laugh. Maybe he was silly and a bit of a goof, right? What has changed? So this is what we need to look at. All right? You fell in love with him for a reason, and assuming he is not an abusive individual, right? You fell in love with him for a reason. He comes in and his mood and his behavior has changed. So why? Is it work related? Okay? And remember, our men, they don't like to talk about their feelings a lot. They don't like to express. And sometimes a lot of the times, when they do express, it is anger and frustration that they expressing, because that's how they know how to do it, right? If they're sad about something, they normally express it within anger and frustration. Now, here's the thing. When we, as women, when we feel this, when we pick up on this, when our empathy, because again, we are more in tune to the veil, when our empathy picks up on this, and we're just like, we are put off by this energy. And immediately our thoughts kind of go into that energy, right? So we need to take a step back, right? Before we make a comment, before we go, you're lazy, you're good for nothing, you don't do anything, I'm here all day with the kids, I clean up the house, I go to work, what the hell, you ain't shit. Before we say this, right? Before we do this, I want you to take a step back and just be like, how would if I came home every single day like this, what possibly could be going on with me, right? What possibly could be going on with me? Because I know if I'm normally a very bubbly person, very sweet, very just like, hey, what's going on? If I have a lackluster for life now, or I'm frustrated all the time, there's a reason for it. So this is where we then come to our men, and we, instead of, again, cussing them out, we sit down and we gain their focus, right? We turn the TV off. We sit right in front of them. We grab their hands, babe, hold my hands here. We look into their eyes and we say, babe, I love you so much. I see you. I see that you're frustrated and I see that you're angry. Talk to me for a minute. What's been going on at work? What's been going on at school? Just what's been going on? And sit and you listen. You listen. And again, I don't want to make it seem like grown men don't all have mummy issues or anything like that. But a lot of men need the nurturing female energy. They need you to simply sit and listen. This does not mean that they need you to fix all of their problems. Okay? Not at all. Because immediately what a lot of women like to do is, if we see our men frustrated and angry, we'll say, oh, well, it's because you need to do this, this, and that. Oh, you're angry at work because your boss is being an asshole. Oh, you know what you should do? You should go take it up with HR. You should do this, 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 and that. No. It's not about us always fixing it. It's just about being there to hold his hands, touch him, and just be like, babe, I love you. Just tell me about it. Just tell me about it. And when he tells you about it, you hold him and you hug him and you just be like, I see you, I feel you. If there's anything I can do, let me know. If I have a suggestion, would you like to hear it? And you let him take a little bit of that flow, right? Because you're not coming up with force. If a guy is basically taking force all day long, not only from regular life, but has taken force from his own raising within his childhood, this is where you got to ease back. You're the river. Let you flow. Take the path of least resistance. Because I guarantee, not only will you connect to his heart, where he will feel you and your focus, but you will also feel it back from him. He will respond. I promise you this. Because guys do that. When you give them just a little bit of what they need, they come right back at you with the same response. And it's so touching and it's so beautiful. Right? They're like mirrors sometimes. If you flow with them, they'll flow right back with you, because they can pick up flows really easily. Okay. So I'm just gonna go back up to the top. I know I missed a few of these comments, so I'm just gonna go back up to them. Zane, you say, I want everything about a woman, but the woman I meet are hurt and will hurt me, and I try to love them, but but I will always have to leave. Zane, now this is it though. If you are, and this is good for a partner at the same, this is also really good for women as well. And I mentioned it in my How to Make Love to a Woman's Heart. Right? Zane, sweetheart, you gotta love yourself so deeply and know yourself so deeply that you will not accept a woman in your life that will not treat you, that will treat you like no less than the way you treat yourself. Okay? If you find that women always hurt you, I want you to look at why they hurt you. What is the area that they hurt you on? And then I want you to go, well, it's not them. I want you to look at yourself and just be like, what is it in me that allows them to hurt me in this way? Because I guarantee, wherever they hurt you, it's pretty much because you are lacking that within inside yourself. You know? You're lacking it. So I'm going to definitely suggest some inner work. And by the way, I have completed my general inner work guided meditation. It's now on YouTube. I'll share the link a little later. But please, Zane, if you haven't, please do watch my How to Make Love to a Woman's Heart. You'll really enjoy that one. Okay. Zane, I'm okay with a human being that's hurt, but she needs to want to change and better herself. Definitely. Definitely. Okay. Amishtal, I would like to say to females and males that regardless of relationship status or lack thereof, it's likely you've had one. You know your heart and how you expect it to be loved. That's what your partner needs to do. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. Thank you, Amishtal, for reiterating as well. That is it. You have to know yourself and you have to love yourself. Because if you love yourself any less than for the wonderful being that you are, if you cannot see yourself and love yourself for all of your flaws and all of your quirks and everything that is there, then how do you expect somebody else to love you in the way that you want, right? How will you expect anybody to love you in the way that you want them to love you if you can't even do that for yourself? Your inside world is a reflection, okay? Sorry, no, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, okay? That's what I got for you there, sweetie. Amishtal, relationships take real work. Your entire self-being is now in now moment as often as possible. It's usually about empathy. Zane, yeah, you say compassion and empathy. Yes, compassion, empathy, awareness, kindness. You know, I will say this though. When you get to the point where you can literally know you and know you for your entire being, a relationship isn't actually hard. It's actually pretty smooth sailing, right? Not to say that you'll never have an argument, but that you'll know that if an argument comes about, it's because you don't know this thing about this individual. And once you have an argument, you come to a greater understanding of each other, and you move forward, right? And you develop, and then you know another new thing about your partner, and then you never argue about it again because you're just like, I'm aware. I understand that what I did that time really hurt him, so I'm not going to do it again. And then you're just going to that, or he could be like, oh, I'm aware. I realize that I shouldn't buy lilies and keep them around all of her white clothing because now she has pollen everywhere. I'm not going to do that again. Those kinds of things, right? Awareness. Onaloco. Because I gave and gave with no return until I shut down after the honeymoon stage. That's it, Onaloco, though. If you give and give and give, and you're not getting it back, that's when you're just like, well, is it worth it then? Is it worth it? And you got to think about your own value. Right? Got to think about your own value. I'm not saying you don't try on a relationship at all like that, if you've gotten married and so forth, but if you've given so very much over continuous years, Then you got to make some decisions. Okay. So Zane, it drains me to have to ever be outside my shape. Bless you. Not quite sure. I literally have no clue where we left off on the conversation. So, I'm going to kind of carry on, and I'm going to go down here because I've got so many more. Okay, we've just got a couple more questions or bits, and we're going to go from there. Aurelia, I hope I pronounced that right. Share to my group, love your energy. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, and thank you very much. Amish Jolly, my ass definitely doesn't listen well after I've had a day like that too, and I get and can get self-focused. So knowing how I'd apply that to another realistically as often as possible. Oh, I cannot remember what we were going on. Is this about, of course, the empathy and absorbing absorbing the negative energy and then wanting to cuss your partner out? Okay. Okay, I saw inner work. This is where inner work is so important. Totally agree. Alrighty. So, I am going to, because I'm getting lost in the conversation, I am then, of course, going to to continue on as where we were. Okay, so we just kind of, let's recap here. We've got to remember that men have gone through a lot of desensitization through social manipulation, so a lot of them focus heavily on just the physical act of sex and the physicalities of a relationship. Two, we also have to realize that men are of the physical. You have to be, compassion and nurturing energy is what is required, but not only in a verbal kind of way, but in a physical holding, being there, being engaged on a physical level. So he knows that you are there and can feel your compassion and love. You've also got to throw in your own nurturing compassion. If you find that this individual who you fell in love with for a reason at the beginning, right? You fell in love with them for a reason. If as soon as you notice their behavior changing, instead of totally reaming them out for their changed behavior, be aware of their circumstances and of their situation. All right? Go to them and literally hold their focus, hold them, take their hands and try to talk through their emotions. Right? I know this seems just like a lot of women are just going to be like, what? Am I his therapist? It's like, no, you're not his therapist, but you are his partner. Right? You are his partner. If you do describe yourself as that. So at the end of the day, if you are his partner, partners help each other out. Just like when you're feeling low, you expect him or you want him to say, if you're having a day of a lot of self-conscious behavior, you're going to want him to come in and say, babe, you're so beautiful, right? No, he doesn't need to necessarily sit down with you and hold your hand and go through a whole therapy session. Not at all. But those words will help support you, all right? They will. But with you, he doesn't need you to constantly go, babe, you look fabulous. But what he does need, because some guys don't like that, but what he does need is that when he's stressed out and when he's got a lot of pent-up emotional energy, he just needs you to come and be with him. Come be with him and listen to him. And don't try to fix everything, right? Just suggest, of course, or ask him if he wants that, but you don't have to try to fix it. Just listen. Just listen and be with him. Right? So, now, once you have shown your compassion through your awareness and just generally coming at him with kindness, right? And again, I want you to remember that your tone holds a lot. All right? Your tone holds a lot. When I find when a man is frustrated, his tone elevates. When his tone elevates, what do we do as women? We get defensive. We go into Okay, I'm getting ready to battle. I'm putting on my armor. I'm closing my heart, like, fight, bring it on. And his voice elevates, and then your voice elevates, or things like that. But just remember, you don't have to do that. You are like water. You are like water. His voice may elevate, but you stay cool as a cucumber. And again, guys, I'm not trying to be condescending in any way. The same way, ladies, that when you have your young male child, and that young male child wants to raise his voice and scream at the top of his lungs, you as his mother, you're not going to go, F you, you little shit. You're going to say, no, that is not appropriate behavior. You're going to go in timeout. Not saying that you are putting your men in timeout, but just saying that your tone is very important. If Lip Up was ever getting very irate or very just worked up, right? And to be honest with you, we don't do that a lot with ourselves. However, if we're out and about, Lip Up's got a thing with insolence. Individuals who are insolent or rude or condescending or, the kinds that are just assholes picking on other people. He's just like, nah. And he can get a little bit like, and, his voice can raise a little bit. When his voice raises, I lower mine. I calm it right down. Because do you know how difficult it is to raise your voice, to express that frustration and that negative energy and that emotion when somebody is talking to you cool as a cucumber, right? And with love and with compassion. It's damn near impossible. So if your tone is calm, kind, and compassionate, but yet firm at the same time, you will find that a lot of magic can happen just with that. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of comments. Okay, so I'm going to try to go down. Okay, Dean, you say, my dear, if you think you try everything and nothing happens, try to go church with your family to release negative energy in your relationship. Well, Dean, hey, if a church is somewhere you want to go, my dear, and it brings you peace and comfort, then totally cool. If it brings other peace and comfort, that's absolutely wonderful. But I would definitely recommend that if you have negative energy that you want to release, you sit with yourself. You sit with yourself and simply release it there and then. Come into understanding and always speak truthfully. Okay. Levy, hi sweetheart. A lot of men are physical and visual. I am maybe more emotional than most. Passionate, romantic, hopeful. Can't find a girl that is as equal. Sad. You know what though, sweetheart? This is again it, right? When we are taking a stand and being firm in who we are, and not wavering or lowering ourselves in order to simply gain the physical affection of sex, then yeah, it takes a little bit more time to find a partner. However, though, when you do find her, how beautiful will that be, right? Good things to come to those who wait, really. That's what I can say. But I would rather you wait a little bit to have that beautiful woman that is going to treat you the way that you want to be treated find you, or you find her, rather than getting into a string of relationships where you just are continually hurt. That's my take on it, sweetheart. Sandeep, hi, Ness. From where you got so deep insights in cheerfulness? Have you read Osho? No, Sandeep, I don't read Osho. I get my deep insights and my cheerfulness because I speak from my heart, and I live literally in love. I live in love, and I literally connect with my heart. And this is who I am truly, without any fear, without any social manipulation, without any program or programming, right? This is how I speak as I am fully awake. while I'm awake to my own being, right? So no, I don't follow or I don't read Osho, but I do follow my heart, which is connected to the universal energy that holds all the information that can possibly be known to mankind. All right. Okay, some men, when they have had stressful days, they just want to be alone and not talk unless they can process it at all. Oh, okay, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And you know what's wonderful? Because I know Kulipup has those days too. You know, he would come in and just be like, he would have, you know, almost like a really repelling kind of energy to him. But I know that he's not repelling me. He's just literally in his, I just want to be by myself for a moment. So you know what I do? I make sure I have a spliff ready for him. It's on the table. He comes in. I go, hey, babes, I've got a spliff ready for you. You know, maybe if I made something, I'll be like, you want me to make you something to eat? And normally he's just like, no, that's fine. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you know what? You take some time to yourself. I'll be upstairs. Or I'll just be over here if you need me. Path of least resistance. I'm not shunning him. I'm not speaking to him because he came in with such a foul mood. I'm not going, oh, you know, why are you so bitchy today? Or, you know, like, oh, you don't want me right? Like, not at all. I'm just like, that's cool. If you need a few minutes to yourself or as much time as you need, that's fine. I'm going to go meditate over there and I'll be here when you need me. That's it. So that's what I definitely say to that orche. And don't get me wrong, if they are continually not processing it, that's when you're going to, after a while, that's when you're going to sit and just be like, hey babes, I've realized that you're kind of getting a little closed off there. And you're holding them, you're taking their hands in yours and you're holding them. And you just be like, look, talk to me. At your own leisure. But just know that I'm here. Totally unbiased, totally non-judgmental. I just love you and I just want you to be happy. And I want you to be well. And I see that my bubble cakes is not well. So what can I do to make them well? Alright? Levy, I do need affirmation that I look good. Words are just as powerful as actions with me. I can't even today. Oh, bless you, sweetheart. But you're absolutely right. Zane, so with the shape thing, is it happens to both male and female? We will go out of our natural energy, so masculinity or femininity, and swap to be that for our partner. My ex needed me to be a female, let's have a look, role model and a man at the same time. It was very twisted confusion with love mixing. It was a mess. Oh, bless you, sweetheart. Yeah, here's the thing. When it does come to the shape thing, yeah, a lot of guys are, again, programmed to be hyper-masculine. Hyper-masculine. And guys are programmed to be hyper-masculine. Women are programmed to love hyper-masculinity. You know, that's why every single hot guy that we look at has a six-pack of abs and has the body of a god and everything like that, when the majority of men out there have regular bodies just like everybody else. Like, literally. So we're programmed to want that, but then we're also programmed to believe that you should be, you know, that knight in shining armor at the same time, when again, society has programmed us to be otherwise. Same thing with women, you know. We are programmed to be smart, funny, witty, go to work, raise children, cook, be able to clean, and be a dynamite in the bedroom and still keep it tight and still keep it super sexy. You know, we're programmed in the same way, right? And it is just, when we all wake up to this mad programming that has been going on and just say, screw it, I'm not going to listen to it anymore because it's nonsensical, I tell you how life opens up. I tell you how the confusion drops. Because you're no longer working off of, well, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. You're not working off of that anymore. You're working off of pure love and understanding of what needs to be done in order to develop both in a relationship and as individuals. So we just got to strip ourselves of this programming and come to just bloody truth. Amistral, you say, guilty of the tone thing myself. Yeah, so many people are. Let's face it. And let's be truthful. I definitely know I was guilty of that for a while. You know, as I used to be like, well, if you're going to yell, I'm going to yell. And then it was just like, why are you yelling? I don't know. It's just a whole mess. So we just got to be in control. Zane, she didn't have a mother or father to raise her and give her the energies. Yeah, and again, social manipulation. You got to remember, we are all born within these. It's not that we can be given these energies. It is that they are part of us, deep down here, and it's whether we have suppressed them or whether we have embraced them, right? So that's my bit on there. That anyway. Okay. So. Zane, you say, men have a deep feeling to keep their energy as best as possible to give their loved ones. Definitely a strong one. Yes, so we can be sensitive to not feeling capable to give up. Yes, definitely. And keep going in patterns over and over and over and over and over again that possibly don't serve you any purpose. Oh, bless you. Okay. Getting back onto this, because what are we at? We're at 7:30 already, so we're an hour in, and I'm going to try not to keep you here for like 3 hours this time. So we went through these things. Now, what is it we need to do? Now, I kind of told in my ladies' talk there, you know, guys, what to do when it comes to start inciting their desires and so forth. So, ladies, what can we do to we've connected to our men now through compassion, through kindness, through flowing with the energy. And trust me, you're going to feel that love back, right? You are. They're going to want to be more affectionate with you. They're going to want to grab you, hold you, and kiss you at the same time. So let's take this now into the intimacy part, right? Because let's face it, women, is that not what we really, really want? Intimacy. That fire and desire. You know, we want to see the look of lust and desire for us in his eyes. And he no doubt wants to see the look of just passion in our eyes, you know, and the want. So how do we get there? Well, one of the things you need to start realizing and recognizing, and I'm not going to lie, it took me a while too, that once you've made love to his heart, once you've made that connection, he doesn't give a rat's ass what your body looks like. So stop degrading your body. All right? Stop hiding yourself from him. If he is your love, and you have children together, and he's seen you naked 1,000,000 times, embrace it. Show it. Because he loves you, and he's going to want to see you. He's going to want to shower you with his affection. And yeah, if you've got stretch marks from the babies, he doesn't care. If you've got a little cellulite on your thighs or your arms or somewhere, he doesn't care, right? If your hair is a blasted mess, he doesn't give a rat's ass. He does not care if you are, no doubt, probably doesn't even want you to be super, like, plastered with makeup. Because when you've connected with his heart, that physical, you know, where you see like, oh, Barbie and Ken, or you see those models on the thingy, he doesn't look at that anymore. It's because he's literally seeing you at that point. So don't shy away from it. Embrace it and just be like, you like that, babe? You know? Oh my goodness. Recognize that he does not see what you see. He sees you for who you are. He sees you for your heart in that moment since you've connected to his. And the man's going to have passions that run deep for you. And don't be afraid of those passions. All right? Next thing you're going to want to do is I want you to literally let your passions and desires out. We sometimes think that it's up to the men to be the instigators with everything, right? And I know you get horny too, okay? So let's not even play at that, all right? Men don't always have to be the instigators, okay, when it comes to sex. When you have his heart, he is going to look at you with such passion and desire. But that doesn't mean that he has to be the one to instigate the sex. He's going to look at you with passion and desire, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. So, while you are feeling those looks, while you are feeling his playful, caresses to your body, allow yourself to just let it all out. Let it out. Instead of playing coy and just be like, oh, maybe no, no, it's fine, and everything like that. Don't suppress yourself. Literally turn around and just be like, yeah, you like that? Come here. Give him some kisses. Show him physically your own lust and your own desire you have for him. Right? Show him it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's if you've got it in you. Like, don't get me wrong. If it's not there, then don't force anything. But when the time comes, show it. Not only that, but just like, if you have desires that are a little bit more adventurous, discuss it with him. Right? Just be like, hey, babes, I want to try this tonight. I want to try that tonight. Because I know us ladies, we can get creative. We really can get creative. So you want to just be like, just express yourself. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just express yourself. He will pick it up. Because then you're coming into the realm of the physical with him. And then, of course, it's going to cause a chain reaction. Because you're going to be expressing your desires. That'll increase his desire for you. Then you're going to feel a whole shitload more passion and just like, and fire in your energies. And then you are left with an absolutely beautiful lovemaking session. Because you're not just having sex anymore. You're making love. You're making love with your energy and you're making love with your heart. All right? Now, I do have to say this as well. Or actually, before I do that, let's have a look at some comments here. Let's have a look here. Okay, so I hope I didn't... Zane, great stuff, friend. Thank you for having this live. It always lovely to see a strong woman. Oh, thank you very much, sweetheart. And I'm always happy to be here. I'll come out with some more stuff. Thank you. Zane, I can't even see it after that. I see the feeling you make me feel. Oh, yes, talking about the body image. Right, though? Right? Oh, because I tell you, I am like riddled with stretch marks. My children were not kind to me. They were freaking huge. And for years, I was so self-conscious about this. Even that extra little, that little pouch that we get, ladies, after we have our kids, because the skin is just stretched so much, and it doesn't matter how many times you work out, that pouch is going to be there. Right? I was always so self-conscious about it, like trying to do as much sit-ups, press-ups, and all that kind of stuff. And then Lip-Up was just like, I love that part. I love your stomach. I love, like, everything about it. And it was just like, oh my gosh, seriously, and I've been trying to get rid of it for so long. And it's just about that. Now, as an awake individual, now I see and I feel his emotions for me. So it's kind of like, it doesn't matter that I don't have the body of a supermodel. Because I know that I'm Lip-Up supermodel. Right? And he loves himself some clip. So that's okay. Jessica, interesting in how that plays into vessels, having male and female spirit when they themselves are the opposite of their gender. Oh, Seriously, think about it though, Amishto. If you've incarnated as a man for so long, you're just like, you know what? How many guys would want to incarnate as a woman just to see how it feels? just to have the lovemaking. But you got to remember, our spirits are within their male or female energy, but it can switch as well. It can totally switch, because we are all here for development, not necessarily for sexual conquest. So there we go. Saying, a male is a female inside the mother before becoming a male. Yes, definitely we are. It is different at 18. People my age, not very aware. Some are, but not many. But a lot of people are waking up those age, so don't worry. It's definitely coming out there. Right, where was I going here? So we just mentioned, of course, letting your passions come out as women. And don't get me wrong, I understand it too, because we suppress our passions because we don't want to be looked at as a whore, a slut, loose, or just because, of course, if we are very in tune with our sexuality, it means that we are lustful whores or something. That's what has been put into us, which is not the case at all, right? And I don't believe that anybody believes that they are these things. However, there is a form of really suppressed programming that will come up, right? And it basically stops you without you even knowing it, right? So we got to kind of get over that part and just be like, no, we have these strong sexual desires for a reason. We have them for a reason. And it's because that's what our body is called to do. And not only that, when you make love, not have sex, but not just the physical act of sex, but when you make love, you are making energy. You are building your energy. If you are simply having sex, there is nothing there. Nothing there. You are losing out on energy, in fact. But making love builds energy. So always remember that as well, when you are, of course, carrying it out. And the more love energy you generate, the happier and the more deeply connected you become with your partner at the end of the day. And the relationship can go really far when you have such a deep connection. Alrighty. So what else is there that I can mention about making love to a man's heart? No, I think I covered most of the bases there. I think I did cover most of the bases. So if anybody else has any other questions, or, for any of the guys that are watching, or any of the ladies who are watching, if you have this no, there's more, we can go deeper into this, then please definitely do so. Do so right now. Let's comment. At the moment, let's have a read here, though. Amishtal, you say, just saying, I notice both tendencies. It's an interesting experience of the male and female energy. Oh, are you coming more into your male energy in your vessel, Amishtal? That is really, really weird, isn't it? Oh, because goodness sakes, I remember what I did. It was so odd. That was the weirdest, week of my life. So far, is just literally being a guy in a woman's body and then switching back to being a woman. It's when the energies switched again. It's that was interesting. But anyway, I'll wait for some more comments. And just letting everybody know as well that I spoke to Kulipup about it, and he said, yes, this should be very, very good, but definitely wanting to make more of a guided erotic lovemaking lesson for you guys as well. Zane, a woman has a son, spirit has a son, spirit being space and everything. A woman has a son, yeah, definitely. Spirit has a son, but in sunlight or the light, sure. Spirit being space and everything. Well, yes. Well, we are everything. Literally, everything is energy. The same thing that makes up your spirit is the same thing that makes up you. We're just unaware of it half the time. It's all energy. It's all the same energy. Oh, Ona Loco, I agree. Being male was different. Right. Right. I will tell you, when I'm in my male energy, or when I was in my male energy, I literally was one of the guys in a female's body. Amishtal, like understanding your spirit but knowing your body makes almost an unfair advantage. Yeah. The thing is, right? It was weird. Oh, Ona Loco, I swear my voice is deeper. It is. It is. When I got into my male energy, yeah, my voice dropped an octave. To what you hear today. My voice was higher before. I also became more attracted to women. I literally looked at Kulipup as, you're my brother. This is so weird, because I'm not physically attracted to you. I'm more physically attracted to a woman than I am you right now. Until you're just like, okay, I need to do some inner work. I need to find my female energy. You do it, and then you're like, and then the frequency increase happens, and you flip, and you're just like, oh, thank gosh, yes, my boobs, they should be there. Oh, Kulipup, I love you. Yes, I like that you don't have boobs or a vagina. Ona Loco, yeah, and Stern, yeah, I get very, like, nonchalant. I'm like, I don't give a shit about anything. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to follow my flow, and nobody can tell me differently. So I feel you. Yes, but Jessica, as you're saying, like, you know your spirit, but you also know your body here. It is just like, it's so odd. And I'm like, no, I had to get over that part. Okay, so in summary, men need compassion, empathy, and kindness to feel a connection with a woman. Yes, but they need physical, okay? They need physical as well, all right? So when you are showing compassion to a man in his heart, I need you to try to physically touch him. Physically touch him as much as you can, and it does not have to be in a sexual way. It just needs to be in an enduring way, in an amorous way. That touching him on his shoulder. You know how you have so many guys, right? Who, when a woman flirts with him and she touches him, like, oh my gosh, those kinds of things. There's a reason why guys respond to that, right? Because they like the physical touch to go with the kindness and compassion and the empathy at the same time. So I hope that works. Zane, that's us waking up and seeing there isn't any separation. I know. Oh my gosh, yes, Zayd, I know. At that moment, I'm like, I understand everybody who is transitioning or going through this, because this is so odd. We are literally one energy and none of it matters. It's like, do whatever the frick you like. Because I tell you, if I'd stayed in my male energy and in that persona for a long time, I probably would have wanted to sex change myself, because it is just like so odd. So odd. Okay. Okay, oh yes, touching him while showing compassion. Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Yes, that is exactly what you need to do. That is exactly what you need to do. And then always take the path of least resistance. If you've said something to him and he's responded in an not in an aggressive, but in a headbutting kind of way, then stop doing what you're doing and go a different way. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Do what feels good. And if in that moment what feels good is just backing off and giving him his space, then back off and give him his space. You'll feel better for it, and so will he. Right? That's what it is. And I will really, really recommend that if you can, ladies, try to encourage your partner to, if they are avid watchers of porn, try to encourage that when you are making love, that stays off for as long as possible, okay? Like, because I know there's so many men out there who need porn in order to kind of get themselves started, right? But it's not working, and I know it's hard for these guys sometimes, but we got to turn it off, and you've got to put all of your focus on them. Let your fantasies run wild, but try to bring them back into the present moment with you. And I tell you, it's going to be a hell of a lot better. Okay? So we really got to get past porn and other sexual stimulation that is not between the parties that are involved in the time. Because it is very desensitizing. Very, very desensitizing. And again, this is why so many guys find that it is hard to be in a relationship or to find that connection during sex, or they're not reaching a climax as they want to reach a climax, and it's just because it's like, because you've only got one part of the puzzle, you need the other part, which is the heart and the connection. Right? Onoloko, and please don't talk to me the way you do in porn movies. Yes! Well, mind you, that was in How to Make Love to a Woman's Heart, of course. But you're absolutely right. It is not cool when a guy does speak to you the way that... Well, because you gotta think though, Onoloko. You gotta think. Guys learn a lot of their sexual practices from what they have been taught. Right? Who is their teacher in sex? Porn and the industry and so forth. A lot of bravado amongst guys reinforcing this. So they really think that girls like to be called like, oh yeah, you little bee, or you're such a whore, aren't you? Or like, yeah, you're dirty and everything. Because in porn, that's what those women do. They'll look into the camera and just be like, oh, I'm a filthy whatever. And so guys think like, oh yeah, that's sexy. And it's like, no, it's not. It's the off switch. It is the off switch. So, yeah, don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I can guarantee you though, Onoloko, if you've connected with the heart, if you've made love to your partner's heart, that kind of talk isn't there. Right? It doesn't want to come out because it's just about the love. It's much more overpowering. That's what I got there. And Amishtal, I did the female energy, no need for all that sex change stuff, but I feel on an emotional and spiritual level it's helpful to give more to a partner knowing both sides, and I'm grateful for the experience. Right, though? It's wonderful. Zane, to Ruby, yes, I agree, it's not authentic, right? Ruby, if the mood is right, that's different. Well, the thing is, though, I always found that, because you know what, I'm not privy, I don't mind a little bit of dirty talk in the bedroom either, right? But it's whether you are degrading your partner or simply saying something. There's although bitch or whore, I cannot see where those would ever come in place within the bedroom. Really, I'm like, no, there's no, unless you're saying like, oh no, there's nothing. I can't think of anything. Sorry, I can't think of any way that you can incorporate those words while lovemaking. The F word, sure, you could be like, F me, that kind of thing, but you're not actually saying, you're an F-er, or anything like that. So I definitely think that if you are using any dirty talk, it is towards the situation and not towards your partner, if anything. I hope I'm explaining that. Okay, I know what you're saying. Oh, thank goodness. I don't like degrading talk. Onoloko, no, not that rough. Yeah, right? So, this is it. But I hope more of the guys will definitely watch the How to Make Love to a Woman's Heart. But I hope you ladies have learned something new today, perhaps, or maybe it was just a reminder that you needed. Just a reminder. And now we can go and connect to the hearts of our men and have beautiful relationships. Zane, I agree. It should always be love. Definitely. Definitely. And it is wonderful. All right then, my sweethearts. I'm going to let you go for this evening then. Like I say, I'm really looking forward to writing this erotic fantasy for those of you who are looking for a little extra help whilst doing your lovemaking. Although that may be a little odd. You're just like, here, put on this video and we're going to listen to Kulipup, and I'm going to have Kulipup's voice in my ear as we're going to get jiggy with it. I'm so old. I'm like trapped in the 90s getting jiggy with it. Literally though, it should really help those who are struggling to find that inspiration or find that feeling that they require in their heart. So, Amishtal, think that Kama Sutra is far more appealing. You know what? I looked at the Kama Sutra and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm going to be doing like how Lip Up is supposed to be doing like a reverse wheel or something like that. And I'm supposed to literally be able to get on there while he's, I was like, what the shit? So, you know what, Amishtal, I'll let you cover that Kama Sutra, right? Odoloco, yeah, not the extreme, just a little bit naughty, right? Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you guys. Okay, so that is it from me this evening. Thank you ever so much. And as a reminder, if you found this conversation, this discussion useful, please share it. I'm sure there's some wonderful lady out there who needs a little reminder or a little help on how to make love to her partner's heart as well. Alrighty. Bye, sweethearts.